but will be tested by several other elite players, including Australian Open champ Aryna Sabalenka, the number 2 seed, and Americans Coco Gauff and Jessica Pegula. I'm Eric Messersmith, Fox News.
A famed Olympic gold medalist gymnast has made history. Simone Biles won the all-around U.S. championship for the 8th time, a record. 10 years after Biles won it for the first time as a 16-year-old. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Hey, this is Jeff McNeely. We hope you go out and visit the fine folks at G&M Milling Company in downtown beautiful Lowray, North Carolina. That's 4000 Taylorsville Highway, 704-873-5758. Give them a call or go visit for all your livestock needs as far as feed or seed or whatever. They'll be glad to help you out. They're really good folks. I've known them for a long, long time. Go visit G&M Milling, 4000 Taylorsville Highway, Lowray, North Carolina.
I'm Holly Vale with your WSIC forecast. We'll have a chance of showers and thunderstorms for today with a high near 83. Showers and thunderstorms continue into the evening with a low around 69. Tuesday, we'll still have a chance of showers and possibly some more thunderstorms with a high near 83. And rain will continue into Tuesday evening with a low around 69. More rain for Wednesday with a high near 79. I'm Holly Vale from WSIC's Weather Center.
Any views expressed in this program do not necessarily represent those of WSIC.
All systems are a go.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your seats. Taking care of Iredell with North Carolina State Representative Jeff McNeely is about to begin. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, Iredell County. I hope everybody's doing well out there. It's a little dreary. That's all right. Into all of our lives, a little rain must fall. Actually, it feels kind of refreshing. Went to the mountains, went off loafing with a bunch of friends way back in college days. And it was the hottest I've ever been in the North Carolina mountains up around Cherokee, Maggie Valley, but had fun. So anyway, so glad for a little bit of a break today. Got a great show, I think, today. Got Representative Wayne Sasser's going to call in. Wayne's from down in Stanley County. He's been a good friend of mine. He come in at the same time basically I did, and we've become real good friends, and I lean on Wayne a lot, and we work on a lot of projects together. And going to talk about PBMs, pharmacy benefit managers. Most of y'all out there don't have any clue what that is. And I'm going to tell you what, I didn't either, but I've learned a lot since I've got in there. And so you need to hear this. To me, it's about the most un-American thing that I've ever heard of in a business model. And it happens, and it really hurts our local pharmacists, the independent ones. So we're going to talk about that and budget and a lot of other things. Wayne's appropriation chair. So anyway, going to jump right in. But if anybody like to call in, got something they want to get off their chest, off the top of their head, 704-873-1400. Please give me a holler. Let's hear what you got to say. Well, we had a little debate. Oh, we done got a caller. Somebody's got something going on. Let's hear what we got. Hey, this is Representative Jeff McNeely. Who's this?
Hey, good morning, Jeff. This is William.
Hey, William. I'm good. I'm going to get you to come on and help me co-host. We just need to hang out. We think a lot alike, I think. Go ahead. What's happening?
Well, I just wanted to apologize to you. I sounded a little harsh last week when I called in, but I tell you, it's really frustrating and disappointing on what's going on in this country.
It is.
And it's our fault. It's our fault. It's my fault. It's everybody's fault. We hire these people to do a job, and they're not doing the job. And it was really disappointing what happened last week. To watch some of that debate. It was not encouraging, in my opinion. They just talked to one another and talked about one another, chastised one another, and didn't want to talk about what they're going to do if they were to be hired up there to Washington, D.C.
Yeah. I think the moderators kind of let it get out of hand. They didn't reel them in real well.
Yeah. And then the other thing was, of course, Donald Trump's mugshot. You know, that one was like the shot that was heard across the world, so to speak. And that's just very sad, in my opinion. Whether right or wrong is not the point. the point of the matter is it was sad that had to happen in our country, that's where we're at right now in our country, that so many people are so worried about incarcerating someone than trying to fix the problem that we've got going on in today's society in this country. And it's just really sad, Jim. It's just sad.
Well, I look at all that they're doing to Donald Trump, and then I look at Russia. And, the guy that was the head of Wagner, that military group, mercenaries or whatever, him and pretty much everybody in his upper echelon, plane crashed right after it left Moscow the other day. Of course, Vladimir Putin had nothing to do with any of that plane's crash, but it was just kind of daggum convenient after he had just been there and they had discussions and it went down. And so, that's one way to get rid of your opponent or your problems. And then I look at Joe Biden and Merrick Garland and the DOJ and say, well, there's another way to get rid of your problems. We'll just go ahead and arrest you, and then we'll have puppet DAs all across the land, district attorneys here and there. We'll have them do the same thing until we smear you enough. Or, the real thing about this is the money. They're going to use our tax dollars to try to outspend and break Donald Trump and his defenses in all these different jurisdictions. I mean, it's going to cost an ungodly amount of money, and the sad part is we're spending just as much of taxpayers' money, but, I don't seem to bother nobody.
Yeah, spending our money is the frustrating part. That's just enough to make a preacher mad. And the thing about it is, I know that we can't take this money with us and all that, but we've got to try to use it, utilize it while we're here on this earth. And the money that's being spent right now and the ways it's being spent, it is frustrating, that's for sure. Yeah. But the only defense we really have is people like you that are trying to do a job, and we voted you in, and that's really, we as the American people, the only defense that we have is to go to the voting booth every time there's time to vote.
That's it.
That's real. We can get more involved in different things, in different ways, different areas, go to meetings, stuff like that. But when it really gets down to brass tacks, that's the only thing we can do is go vote.
And that is the beauty of America. That is the beauty of America. So I suggest people to exercise that right. It's one of the few you have left.
Well, that's just it. A lot of people think that we're entitled. There ain't nobody on the face of this earth entitled to anything.
No.
You have a privilege, and that privilege has to be earned.
That's right.
That's where a lot of them people up there in Washington, D.C. have lost sight of that, in my opinion, Jeff, and we just need to get them out of there. Get out of the way. Let us do our job. You're doing your job. I'm doing my job. We're running this country. In a sense, we're running this country. And the ones that don't want to try to run this country in the right way, step out of the way and let somebody else do it. That's just the way I look at it. And I agree with the 4-year term limit. I know what you're saying, that in some instances, in some cases, people need longer than 4 years. But if you put a 4-year term limit on some of them people up there in Washington, D.C., that'll give them the incentive or the motivation to do their job. A lot of them up there thinking, well, I'm just going to get voted in next time because, somebody's not going to vote or whatever, and I'll just win it over that way. And their mindset's that way, and they think they get up there and they can stay up there forever and ever. Amen. It's just not right.
Well, the cronyism sets in after a while. And I personally believe on the federal level that probably 8 years in the House and 12 years in the Senate, that's enough. That's enough. That's 2 terms in the Senate. That's 4 terms in the House because they run every 2 years, and then it becomes more of the party and what the principles of the party are, and hopefully they can adhere to that because the party will gain the control, not the bureaucracy of the actual staff and the different ones in their office. So it would get it to me. It would make it become more about theory and principle than about survival and retaining, and that's what happens now. Once they're there, then it's the job is to figure out how to stay there, and that's not what it was meant to be. That's not the way it was meant to be.
Think about 20 years ago when 9/11 happened. You think about it, George W. was our president, and in his defense, I will say that the first term, the first term that he served, he was trying to deal with them planes bombing our buildings. And he couldn't really get anything else done for the first year and a half, 2 years because of that happening. So, you got voted in again and worked another term, so realistically he had about 5 years, maybe 6 years tops to do his job.
We got to go to break, Will. If you want to hang on, we'll talk to you back at the other side of break.
Jeff McNeely will
All right.
All right, thank you.
On the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Here's your...
Are you still there? Hey, William.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, just hang with us to the break and we'll talk a little more. All right. Hold tight.
2024 fall season. Comedian Mike Goodwin, Saturday, September 9th. For more info, visit canards.org. Apple picking at Kerrigan Farms is almost here. The apple picking at Kerrigan Farms is a very short window. September 5th through the 30th, apple picking at Kerrigan Farms. Only in September. Book your experience now at kerriganfarms.com. Leonard Skinnard and ZZ Top, the Sharp Dress Simple Man Tour, this Friday at PNC Music Pavilion. Watch two iconic bands at a great venue. Leonard Skinnard and ZZ Top, this Friday at PNC Pavilion. Have you ever been to Davidson's Concerts at the Circles? This weekend you can go! Davidson's Concert at the Circles will feature 80s Nation, an 80s tribute band. Concerts at the Circles, Jeton Street by Clean Juice in Davidson. NASCAR is back at Darlington this weekend. Xfinity race starts at 3:30 on Saturday and Cup Series at 6 p.m. on Sunday. Thanks again to Drum Landscape Supply in Statesville for the Days of Darlington ticket giveaway contest at WSIC. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
I'm Holly Vale with your WSIC forecast. We'll have a chance of showers and thunderstorms for today with a high near 83. Showers and thunderstorms continue into the evening with a low around 69. Tuesday, we'll still have a chance of showers and possibly some more thunderstorms with a high near 83. And rain will continue into Tuesday evening with a low around 69. More rain for Wednesday with a high near 79. I'm Holly Vale from WSIC's Weather Center.
For 41 years, your Auto Plus Auto Parts store is Johnson's Parts and Supply. Johnson's Parts provides quality auto parts, helping you to get your work done quickly. Your Auto Plus Auto Parts store is located at 1112 Shelton Avenue in Statesville, open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and on Saturdays from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., closed on Sunday. Johnson's Parts, your Auto Plus Auto Parts store, located at 1112 Shelton Avenue in Statesville.
Now, more Taking Care of Iredell with NC Representative Jeff McNeely on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, we're back here with the next segment of the show. We're good to about 11:30, and we're going to bring our guest in. But I think I still got William out there. William, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Hey.
I am. Appreciate you allowing me all this airtime.
That's all
I feel
right,
like a celebrity.
Well, you're kind of doing my job for me, because that's the thing I was going to talk about was the indictment in Georgia and talk about the debate, and so you've kind of brought both those up. I will say there is I guess what we all call a silver lining. You don't want any kind of disaster or whatever to go unwasted or unused. Donald Trump raised about $7 million from the Thursday when he went and got the mugshot till I think it was midnight Friday. So there's some money poured in. I don't know if that's what they were looking for, but that's what they got. But back to the debate, I will say this much. I thought Ron DeSantis did what he had to do. Out of all the ones on the stage, he was in the lead in the polls, and I thought he held his own, and I thought he had good answers, and I thought he participated at the level he should and was respectful, but also yet very firm. and I thought he did good, and I thought Nikki Haley did good. I think she was kind of, she's worked at a deficit to a point, and so that brought her out, I thought. Rest of them, I thought everybody else probably took a step back. And Ramaswamy, I don't know what to say about him. I'm not sure what he is. He's something.
I don't either. I don't know that I can trust him, to be honest with you. I mean, I did watch not all the debate, but I watched a little bit of it, caught the highlights and stuff, and I agree with you on Nikki Haley, and I agree with you on Ron DeSantis. Those two candidates seem like they were thinking past their noses towards the future.
Well,
and the rest of them, they just satirized each other and wanted to talk about the past and all that. And I just, we need to quit talking about the past. The insurrection happened. It's over with. Was it right? Was it wrong? Doesn't matter. It's over with. Let's get on with it. We got to go towards the future. In the future, we've got a target on our back. We've had a target on our back for years because we're the greatest nation in the world.
Yeah, I watched that Fannie Willis news conference where she read out the indictments and all the different stuff, and I'm just sitting there going, is somebody limp seeking for her? Because this looks like a puppet act. I mean, it is just, after watching the guy up there in New York do his thing and going after, I mean, it's just the same, it's just like it was read over and over again. It's the same play. It's the same play. They just keep running the same play and telling what it is. And I mean, it just looked like a puppet court. Is this how it's going to be? No. Is this what America's supposed to be? What they're doing? It's crazy. Tracy Abrams.
Talk right now to a lot of different people in the world. They're looking at us and they're thinking that we're just silly. And it's really not the puppets that we got to worry about, Jeff. It's the puppeteer.
Oh yeah,
that's who we worry about.
Well, Stacey Abrams down there questioned the 2016 election. What I think it was for, I don't know, good gosh, for 2 or 3, 4 years, still doing it, saying it wasn't right. Nobody said, and that was in Georgia. Nobody said a thing about what she tried to do. But all of a sudden, Trump, he tried to force arms. Well, I'd say Stacey Abrams come closer to overthrowing an election for governor than Trump did for president. She did everything she could in crooked Fulton County to get what she wanted, and it still couldn't work out for her.
It confirmed what we knew all along, Jeff, when they did what they did last week to Donald Trump, and all it is trying to eliminate him in the race. Because they know if that man gets back up there in Washington, D.C., there's going to be a bunch of people. He's going to treat it like The Apprentice. You're fired. And they know that. They know that. They know that, Jeff. They know who they are. All these people that I'm speaking of, they know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And Donald Trump's going to call them out. He's going to call them out, and he's going to fire them. And they know that, and it's the reason why they're trying to keep him from getting back up there.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say this. I think probably his biggest mistake when he was in his first term is he didn't fire deep enough. He only fired some on the very top, and you got to go 6 and 7 layers deep to clean out. If you're going to do anything at all, you've got to get in there deep because they've been entrenched for a long time, and that's what they want. That's what they want. Well, good talking with you.
Do they?
Do what?
Call it the deep. Nothing.
That's right. Good talking with you, William. Good talking with you.
All right. You take care, Jeff. Thanks again for all your time.
Well, thank you, sir. See you. All right. Real quick, going to talk up a little bit more. If anybody else wants to call in, we got about 6 minutes to pull that off. So give me a holler if you want to. Tropical storm Iredell, I think that's the way you pronounce it, Iredell, is heading towards Florida's west coast. Governor DeSantis, who we just talked about in the debates, is in charge of emergency management basically down there. That's the way Florida structure works, and they've got it going on. They've got 1,100 National Guard called up and 1,200 high water vehicles. So I think 2,200. So they got a bunch of equipment ready to go. They're not going to be caught with their pants down. So I'm looking forward to this. I got a little bit more to say on that, but we got a caller. Let's see who we got here. Hey, this is Representative Jeff McNeely. Who we got?
Hey, Jeff, this is Don Campbell. How you today?
Hey, Don, I'm good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
What you got going on?
I got a question. Maybe you can give me some info on it. Out here on 21, Turnsburg Road.
Yes, sir.
I see they're really starting to tear some houses down. They've got several of them tore down, working on some more. You think that construction's going to start anytime soon?
This 21, as soon as they can get all the right of ways, and I think they finally did. Fairview was one of the last ones because they were really concerned about how it may close them in. I think we finally got some stuff worked out with that. Me and Vicky Sawyer both went out there. I don't know, it's been 6-7 months ago now. It's been a while, and worked with them on it. And so I think they got the right of ways done. I look for that construction to probably start next spring, and there may be some clearing of houses and stuff during the winter, but I look for them to really start getting in on it next spring. It's online.
Man, that'd be great.
It's gonna be a mess for a while, but it's gonna be good when it gets done. It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
and it will expand that corridor. It will make that corridor. You'll start seeing stuff happen up it. It'll take off.
Oh gosh, I hope so. Yeah. Yep. All righty. Well, thank you very much, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Appreciate what you do for us.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. See you. Getting back on the hurricane, the thing that we're worried about here in North Carolina on the ag side is our corn crops starting to really come, especially on the eastern side of the state. They're already harvesting, and so we're wide open, and they got about 2 inches, I believe, last night down that way, somewhere in that way. Of course, we had a pretty bad storm here, folks. Had some trees down in Statesville, so I hope everybody's okay. I haven't heard of fatalities or anything, but so we're worried about this year's corn crop. It's the most expensive crop that farmers have ever had to put in the ground because of some of Bidenomics. The spending packages and whatnot cost fertilizer and fuel and everything to be astronomical back there. Still high, but unbelievably high back in February, March, April when plant time was going on. And so this crop's real important. If they don't get it out of the ground and into the bins, it's going to break a lot of them. It's going to be really hard. They're going to barely break even unless they have a heck of a yield. And so I've been working with Secretary Boyette at the Department of Transportation trying to get it where actually allow our farmers to be able to load their trucks heavier than normal so we make less trips so we can get it out of the field. That's actually what takes a little bit longer, folks. So if they can haul a little heavier and we give them a little bit of leeway, but this is going to give them a little bit more. Got to have farm tags. Going to be limited probably to about 50 to 100 miles from the farm in case they're hauling to a granary instead of back to the farm. So this is something we're trying to do to make sure this crop don't get blown down because they're running 24/7 right now down east. We're not ready for it up here. Our corn ain't dried down as much, thank goodness. It's getting there, so we'll have some problems with high wind, but not as much as they will down east. Once that corn stalk dries out, something's got to give. Is that McCollar? I'm a guess. All right, so we're working on that. I'll get back with Secretary Boyette probably later today and see what happened. Hopefully the governor, trying to get Roy Cooper to do some kind of a little bit of an emergency management move here and allow for some help so we can get this done. So just pray that the storm's not as bad as they say it's going to be. It could be a hurricane 1 or 2, and hopefully by the time it makes us, maybe it'll just be dissipated out and we'll get a little rain. That's what we're hoping for. So anyway, one thing I did want to bring up that I thought was interesting, I always like to do this kind of right before the split of the hour. Silicon Valley Bank and First Republic Bank out in California both had huge wine collections as assets for their bank. And so now that they're both out of business, FDIC, their job is to come in kind of and liquidate all the assets. They sold a lot of them to, I think it was, I'm trying to remember who bought it now. Wait, was it Truist? I ain't sure on that. I have to get back to you on who purchased what. But they did not purchase the huge wine collection when they bought the assets. They mainly took banks and buildings and stuff like that. So they're going to have to auction off the wine, and it looks like it's probably going to be pennies on the dollar. And I know they're in California, but taking wine as your asset or whatever that you're going to put a lien against, and they had very expensive wine cellars built in the bottom of these banks to protect this wine. Just kind of crazy that would be on your balance sheet. But, we're talking millions of dollars worth of wine. This is expensive wine. This is not the $7 Ripple, Mad Dog 2020 and something like that. This is high dollar. And so anyway, And I'm sure some people out there saying, well, that wine probably improved in value. Well, it would if it would have been sold and marketed the right way, but the way it's going to go now, be watching the internet, and you get a heck of a deal, I guess, on some wine if you can get it shipped to you without busting it all to pieces. So, just one of those little things that you hear and you wonder, well, now, why did that bank go broke? Well, they don't know it even went broke. They're still sipping wine and wondering what happened too. So interesting little tidbits there. So, all right, we're getting ready to go to the break. Got Representative Wayne Sasser already on the line. Hang tight, folks. It's going to be good. See ya.
More Taking Care of Iredell with
Bring him in for you real quick. Yep. Hey, Wayne, you with me?
Yes, sir.
All right, we probably got about 3 minutes or so just hang tight. But I always want to get everybody calling 11:30 so we can work out any of the kinks and everything. And I have tried to find that daggum ad on YouTube, but I know what it was. They pitched Bernie Sanders as the one pushing this, and Ted Budd was the one that needed to kill it on the PBM thing, and it was all about, it's going to make your drug costs go higher, and it's just a bunch of crap. But we'll bring that up one of the last things. We'll talk about the budget, and we'll talk about some about HB 563, our hemp CBD bill, and then we'll talk about the PBMs probably for the last, 7-8 minutes, something like that, maybe 10.
Sounds perfect.
All right, man. See ya. Just hold tight. We'll be right back to you.
or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY to learn more.
Hey, this is Jeff McNeely. We hope you go out and visit the fine folks at G&M Milling Company in downtown beautiful Lowray, North Carolina. That's 4000 Taylorsville Highway, 704-873-5758. Give them a call or go visit for all your livestock needs, as far as feed or seed or whatever. They'll be glad to help you out. They're really good folks. I've known them for a long, long time. Go visit G&M Milling, 4000 Taylorsville Highway, Lowray, North Carolina.
I'm Holly Vale with your WSIC forecast. We'll have a chance of showers and thunderstorms for today with a high near 83. Showers and thunderstorms continue into the evening with a low around 69. Tuesday, we'll still have a chance of showers and possibly some more thunderstorms with a high near 83. And rain will continue into Tuesday evening with a low around 69. More rain for Wednesday with a high near 79. I'm Holly Vale from WSIC's Weather Center.
For 41 years, your Auto Plus Auto Parts store is Johnson's Parts and Supply. Johnson's Parts provides quality auto parts, helping you to get your work done quickly. Your Auto Plus Auto Parts store is located at 1112 Shelton Avenue in Statesville. Open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and on Saturdays from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Closed on Sunday. Johnson's Parts, your Auto Plus Auto Parts store, located at 1112 Shelton Avenue in Statesville.
Hi, this is Andy with Lake Mountain Coffee, located at 110 West Broad Street in Statesville. Did you know we also own and operate Statesville's first coffee roasting facility? We roast coffee beans for businesses, fundraising events, special occasions such as a wedding. We can even put a custom message on the back of your bags. If you're a company or simply someone with a coffee need, give us a call at 704-252-1886. And remember, if you want fresh, you must go local.
Join your friends from Oswald Baptist Church in Troutman, Sunday mornings at 8:30 on WSIC. Be informed and inspired with teachings from the Word of God by Pastor Wesley Morris. Sunday mornings at 8:30 on WSIC.
It's Taking Care of Iredell with NC Representative Jeff McNeely on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
That's some serious jam there. Of course, I'm playing the guitar because I do that. Anyway, all right, we're back here. Got my good friend, Representative Wayne Sasser, on the phone. Let's see if we can bring Wayne in. Hey, Wayne, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Turn him up just a little bit. Good morning. How you doing?
living the dream, buddy. Hope you are.
Oh, yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Well, glad to have you on. And, folks, let me tell you what started all this. I'm sitting there the other day. We've been off for the last week or two. Well, we've been off. I'm still working like crazy. I'm just doing it more from home instead of Raleigh. And I was watching the TV, and this commercial came on. And it was basically saying Bernie Sanders is going to raise your drug costs because he's going after pharmacy benefit managers. Call Ted Budd and make sure you get this killed, Ted. Now, I don't know how many of y'all saw this. I saw it on WSIC Channel 9. I'm sure a lot of people saw it, and they probably think, oh, my goodness, I need to call Ted Budd. Well, I'm going to tell you what. I don't know if Bernie should take credit for this, but what Bernie's doing is a wonderful thing. Call Ted Budd and tell them to make sure they get rid of PBMs. So that'll be the talk at the end when we talk about pharmacy benefit managers. But first, let's talk a little bit about Wayne Sasser. Wayne, tell us who you are, where you from, what all you been up to.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. I'm the representative for House District 67, which is all of Stanley County and all of Montgomery County, right in the middle of Piedmont, North Carolina. This is my third term. Jeff and I came in together as freshmen, and so this has been it gets more interesting every year. And this year, I've been able not only to be a health committee chair, but I'm on what's called big appropriations. So there are 10 of us on the House side that get to sit in a room from 9 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night and spend the $30 billion budget that the state of North Carolina has. So it's been very interesting. It's been educational, and as much hard work as it is, I've really enjoyed it.
Well, good. And I know you're doing a great job. And I go to Wayne now and say, Wayne, let me tell you what I need. So,
exactly.
Yeah. Well, now, all right, let me ask you this. As far as the budget, now I'm getting everybody and their brother, and I know you are, since you're one I call one of the big chairs. What are we thinking? We still think it's going to happen the week of the September 11th, sometime in there, you think?
Well, you're like me, Jeff. We're being told we're going to vote on it the week of September the 11th. But I tell people that these are the same people that were telling us we were going to have a budget June the 30th. So it's a little bit above mine and your pay grade. So, but we've pretty much got everything worked out. We've got everything done as far as spending the money, balancing the budget, and all that kind of stuff. But even above our pay grade is the corner offices, and they make the final decisions. And there's some policy things that hadn't 100% been agreed upon, but we're so close. We could do what we've got done and solve some of those other problems later on, and get the budget done and get everybody their raises. And
yes.
The good thing about, we're getting bashed a little bit. I need my raise. It'll go back to July the 1st. Everybody will get their raise money, so nobody's losing anything. It's just they don't have it in their pocket today. But I'm encouraged that we'll be ready the week of September the 11th and get this budget done. And it's a good budget.
Well, I think it is. When it's not going to be all said and done, I think, I put out something. I've got a fundraiser coming up here in Statesville or out in Iredell County at FOP on the 14th of September. Hopefully I'll make my own fundraiser. We won't be stuck there voting until 4 in the morning. Well, you never know. But
have been, haven't we?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. And so, but I think it will be good. And like I said, I've told people, you're going to get a good little check if you're a state employee, teacher, or whatever, for the back couple months here that we missed. So it's coming. This year it seems like to me more things went to the corner offices than in the past almost. But now I don't know that because I've never been, into the inner circle. But it just seems like that couple of times I sat in a row myself just listening. A lot of things are going to the corner office. A lot of things are going, and folks, that's the Speaker's office, and that's the President Pro Tem of the Senate's office, Phil Berger, Tim Moore, Speaker. So a lot of decisions. Upper management made a lot of decisions in this budget for sure.
Yes, sir. You're exactly correct.
Well, and now we'll and being a health chair, you have a unique perspective. You were there all through the COVID stuff, and you've seen all that, and now we're on the backside of the COVID pandemic, and now it's the mental health part of it. Y'all are getting bombarded on the mental health, and then in the senior care because of inflation. Were we able to do much as far as mental health, you think, in this budget, or you don't know yet?
No, I do know, and specifically because of Medicaid expansion, and that would be a conversation all in its own. But generally,
we'll have you back on the show for that.
the reason the state of North Carolina finally expanded Medicaid was from day one with Obamacare, the state of North Carolina was being charged for Medicaid expansion through sorry about that. Through premiums, and everybody that buys insurance where you're an employer or an individual knows that about 2012 that all our premiums doubled. Well, a lot of that money went to expand Medicaid. North Carolina chose not to sign on to that, even though we were paying for it. Some of the reasons were, like, for instance, with regular Medicaid, and, I just tell people no good deed goes unpunished, but every year the state of North Carolina pays a larger percentage for paying for Medicaid than we did the year before because we do such a good job. And we didn't want to sign on to Medicaid expansion and it goes from the 10% that it started at, and then we look out 10 years from now and we're paying 50%. So,
and there's a chance that could happen. We've put ourselves in that predicament, so we'll see. We did put that caveat in there. We did put the caveat in there to stop that, though.
Exactly. Some other states, Ohio being one, have passed in their Medicaid expansion bill that if the federal government goes up any, then automatically the Medicaid expansion is canceled. So, first of all, I'd like to say Medicaid expansion is not costing anybody in North Carolina one additional penny in any kind of taxes. I said additional because they're already paying for it.
That's right.
It does cost the state of North Carolina 10%, but again, watching what some other states have done, that 10% is being paid by the hospitals. Now, the hospitals are going to get a bunch of money out of Medicaid expansion.
Oh, yeah.
Not just by taking care of more patients that'll be paid for instead of paying for with indigent care, but because of something called HASP. It's another one of those synonym type things, but they get a lot of federal money with Medicaid expansion. The other thing that we did, and we need to do some more of it, but we did away with a lot of the CON protections that hospitals have. Probably need to do away with all of it, but it'll be a slow process.
Yeah, we tried to help the rural hospitals, but not taking it away from them so much, so that way they could survive.
Exactly right. So get back to answering your question about mental health. We got $1.5 billion, and some people don't like my terminology, but I called it a bribe, and we took the bribe. And but what we could do with that $1.5 billion is anything we wanted to do. So what the House did with their half of that money, we put it towards mental health.
Okay.
And we're expanding through DHHS a lot of emergency response and those type things. You can do quite a bit with $750 million. Now the Senate on their side with their part of the money, they're going to build and I call it a Taj Mahal, but I'm kind of cliche type individual anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to build like a $2 billion hospital complex for UNC hospital system that is just for children, and it's going to be directed towards mental health. So most of all that money, that $1.5 billion, is going to go towards mental health, which is probably the biggest issue, at least the biggest health issue that we have in this country.
Oh yeah, as the pandemic, it pulled the curtain back on the unbelievable amount of issues we've got, and especially with younger people, our children, teenagers. I don't know what we've done, but we've messed up, and we've got to try to get that fixed. Yes, we did. Well, all right, real quick, we got about 30 seconds, so we really can't get into it much. But me and Wayne have been working on a hemp CBD regulation bill. We're going to take a break for about a minute and a half, Wayne, at 11:45, so we've got about 30 seconds. Wayne started this ball. I kind of picked it up, and I've been trying to punch it across the goal line. We think it's going to be a really good thing. So when we get back, we'll talk about it for just a little bit, and then we're going to talk about these PBMs. So 10 seconds here clicking away. Stay tuned, folks. Hang tight, Wayne. We're going to be right back. Hold on, folks.
There's more Taking Care of Iredell with NC Representative Jeff McNeely on the way from the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Here's your WSIC community calendar. Looking for a night of laughs? Mike Goodwin, who's been on America's Got Talent, is coming to Kane Center for the Arts here in Cornelius. Saturday, September 9th. Kane Center for the Arts' 2024 fall season. Comedian Mike Goodwin, Saturday, September 9th. For more info, visit canearts.org. Apple picking at Kerrigan Farms is almost here. The apple picking at Kerrigan Farms is a very short window. September 5th through the 30th, apple picking at Kerrigan Farms. Only in September. Book your experience now at kerriganfarms.com. Leonard Skinnard and ZZ Top, the Sharp Dress Simple Man Tour, this Friday at PNC Music Pavilion. Watch two iconic bands at a great venue. Leonard Skinnard and ZZ Top, this Friday at PNC Pavilion. Have you ever been to Davidson's Concerts at the Circles? This weekend you can go! Davidson's Concert at the Circles will feature 80s Nation, an 80s tribute band. Concerts at the Circles, Jeton Street by Clean Juice in Davidson. NASCAR is back at Darlington this weekend. Xfinity race starts at 3:30 on Saturday and Cup Series at 6 p.m. on Sunday. Thanks again to Drum Landscape Supply in Statesville for the Days of Darlington ticket giveaway contest at WSIC. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
I'm Holly Vale with your WSIC forecast. We'll have a chance of showers and thunderstorms for today with a high near 83. Showers and thunderstorms continue into the evening with a low around 69. Tuesday, we'll still have a chance of showers and possibly some more thunderstorms with a high near 83. And rain will continue into Tuesday evening with a low around 69. More rain for Wednesday with a high near 79. I'm Holly Vale from WSIC's Weather Center.
Speak with NC Representative Jeff McNeely at 844-STUDIO-4. Taking Care of Iredell on WSIC.
All right, back here for the last segment of the show. Let me see if we can get Wayne pulled back up. Hey, Wayne, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, sorry about that. We got to pay the bills around here, so we got to do some commercials here and there. But anyway, real quick, back on the hemp CBD regulation. Like I said, Wayne, you started that bill. I kind of tried to pick it up and run with it, and it more from an idea to a War and Peace novel, just about, as far as how many pages of the bill. But I think we got a good quality product. We just got to get it done now. We got to get it across the finish line.
Exactly. I started that bill 5 years ago, and not throwing anybody under the bus, but to not get anybody at the Department of Agriculture was interested in the bill.
Me neither.
They felt like, I think, trying to read their mind, that maybe it was going to hurt the hemp industry, and that never was any intention of the bill at all. It was just to make sure that some of the people that are selling those products are regulated and and they're not selling products that's going to allow people under the age of 18 to purchase those products, and they're not going to sell any products that are illegal as far as the laws and the regulations for the state of North Carolina. So, and you deserve all the credit because you're the one that's taken it and ran with it and got an agency that's willing to regulate it. And I think the mamas and dads across this state that have their young people that are being able to buy products out of those places that should not be sold to them and are not legal are going to be happy with this bill. And we're going to get across the finish line thanks to you.
Well, I'm pushing hard as I can. I can tell you that, and I appreciate your help on it too, trying to get her worked into the budget or get her over to the other side. So we're going to see what we can get done with it, but it will be good. All right, well, let's get into y'all. You need to listen real close here as Wayne explains what a pharmacy benefit manager is and how it works, and then call up your local pharmacist and tell them you're sorry. All right, Wayne, explain where this pharmacy benefit manager come from and how it works.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. And this is extremely complicated. It's not an easy process to understand, and that's by design. So we'll talk a little bit. What are PBMs? And they're pharmacy benefit managers. And the definition of that is they're healthcare middlemen who play a pivotal role in managing prescription drug benefits. And they do that job for health insurance plans, employers, government programs like Medicare Part D. And they actually do a very important job because they negotiate prices, they get discounts from drug manufacturers, they establish formularies, they collaborate with pharmacies to process claims. But the problem is there's no transparency, so most of the money that they're making in doing this process, they keep the money. And so you would think, well, they're a private company out here, and so you can negotiate with somebody else and get somebody that does it, legally or fairly. But the reality is all the PBMs are owned by large insurance companies.
Mm-hmm.
The three big insurance companies, which is United Healthcare and Cigna and CVS Caremark, own the three biggest PBMs, and so there is no separation. It's all integrated, and what those big insurance companies have found, if they don't want to be regulated, they put the process over on the PBM side, which has little or no regulation, and take a company like United Healthcare, which nets about $20 billion a year in profit. And you think, oh, man, that's an enormous amount of money, and it is, but a big health company like United Healthcare has a lot of liability. And so probably maybe $20 billion is a fair return on investment for the amount of liability they have. You go over to all those big health insurance companies, they own mail-order pharmacies. They own specialty pharmacies, which is all the high-dollar stuff. And about
compounding.
The money,
yeah.
Half the money that's spent in pharmacy in the United States is spent under specialty pharmacy. So they own all those specialty pharmacies, which they force their customers to get those prescriptions from specialty pharmacies. You can't walk down to your local pharmacy and get those things. And then they all own PBMs. And those three big PBMs manage 80% of the prescriptions that are filled in this country. So their business model is they make so much money getting rebates off from drug manufacturers. And, of course, all the drug manufacturers are going to do is if the cost was $500 and they're having to pay a $100 rebate, then they raise the price to $600. I mean, they don't keep that money. They just pass it on. And so by in a company like United Healthcare, out of that $20 billion in profit, $4 billion of it is made off the PBM. So the PBM is making so much money, they will go to the pharmacies that, have to pay rent and employees and light bills and all that kind of stuff, and they will actually pay them cost to fill a prescription, or maybe pay them, you don't believe this, but 50 cents to fill a prescription. And the reason they can do that is they want to take those customers and put them under their mail order pharmacies that they own and take them away from the local pharmacies, which are there when you need a prescription filled at 3 o'clock in the morning, or you're coming back from the doctor's office with a sore throat and you need a prescription and you can't wait a week to get it from the mail order. And what they can afford to do by doing that stuff under cost is they're trying to put the little small independent pharmacies out of business where they have no competition. And it's not like they're losing anything because they're making all their money on the PBM side, and they'll take a loss. It's kind of like selling milk, and I'm talking to the milkman, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. We sell milk out of the grocery store at a loss. Well, they're filling prescriptions at a loss, but they're making it up on the PBM side. So that's kind of complicated, but that's pretty much what's going on.
Well, this is the way I've always saw it. All right, so I go to the doctor and I got high cholesterol, and they write me a prescription for a statin, one of them, whichever it is. And I go to my local pharmacist that I like to use, and then it's the girls out at Island Pharmacy. Shout out to them. I go there, take it to them, and I take it for 3 months, and I do like I'm supposed to, and eat a lot of salads, and my cholesterol goes down. And then I realized, maybe I don't have to eat as many salads, and I may not take it every day because it kind of gives me a little bit of a soreness, and I feel kind of a little weak,
Muscle pain.
Yeah. So the next 3 months, I don't take it quite as regular as I should, and I don't eat as many salads as I did, and my cholesterol goes back up some. Well, then the doctor reports this. I come in for my 6-month checkup and reports, the drug's not working as well as it was. And so the insurance company, through the PBM, goes back and tells the pharmacist that filled the prescription that the drug didn't work like it was supposed to, so you owe me money back, even though the pharmacist had nothing to do with this other than they sold the drug that was prescribed. Is that not about a true story?
Well, that's the third way that they make money. They make money, and they call it spread pricing. They will come to you as a company owner and say, we're going to sell you this insurance, and on your prescription, we're going to give you 80% off of AWP. Well, that's got to be a good deal, right?
Yeah.
But we don't know what AWP is, and AWP is a made-up term, so they can make it anything they want to. Then they go to the drugstore, and they're going to pay the drugstore MAC, which is MAC, minus 10%. So, but the difference in those two could be 3 times what the cost of the drug is. So they're making the PBMs are making money off of rebates from drug manufacturers. They're making money off of spread pricing as far as what they're charging who buys the insurance, the company or the individual, and what they pay the pharmacy to fill it. And then the third thing is called clawbacks, which is what you're talking about.
Clawback.
So they come back, and it may be, like you said, 6 months later, and say, okay, this medicine didn't work like it should have according to these tests, so we're not going to pay you for it, or we're only going to pay you 50%. I mean, they make up the rules.
Yeah.
So it's not a negotiated process because there's no competition. It's a monopoly, and they work for the health insurance company, and they make the rules. So it's not like you sit down and say, I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do this, because we know CVS is going to do it because they're owned by Caremark, and if they lose money, they're making a profit on the PBM side, like selling that milk at the grocery store. And so there's more stuff in the weeds than any of us can keep up with, and there's no transparency. But you're spot on with what's going on.
Yeah, folks, if we're getting close to the end, I got to say my prayers to hold tight, Wayne, but go to your local pharmacies. Help them. They need your help. It's not easy. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, dear Lord, we just thank you, dear Lord. We pray that everything's right and just in this world, but it's not. But we pray that you protect us and watch over us and be with us and lead and guide us. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. Hey, Wayne, thank you. We'll talk soon. See y'all.
God bless you.
Take care.
You've been listening to North Carolina Representative Jeff McNeely. Join Jeff again next Monday morning at 11:05 for Taking Care of Iredell on News Talk WSIC.
The new. I think he hung up on me. I'll text him.